Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening, and welcome to the Season Keepers, the show where the only two people we recommend keeping for the season is us. My name's Matt, aka Clean Sheet Wipeout.
My name's James, aka SK James FPL.
Good to be back, mate. How you doing?
Yeah, pretty good. We've been away for a little bit, but there's been plenty of football to talk about.
We have, yeah. It just didn't make sense to try and squeeze a podcast in between the last couple of game weeks because there's effectively been one day between them. So, by the time we record, release it, it's out of date and the game week's kicked off. So we thought this is probably a good time to release the next FPL pod with a much anticipated double game week 26 coming up. And no doubt we've both probably got a few ideas that we want to discuss towards the end.
Yep, chips are going to be played.
Oh yeah, I think I know which one, but there's some injury news and stuff now that's coming out, and there's a few players I think we both want to get rid of, so it's going to be interesting. So I think we'll do our usual kind of run through the games, but maybe not go in as much detail because we want to give as much time towards the end to get into the nitty gritty of the game week ahead. So first things first, James, let's get stuck in, and the first game of the weekend was Manchester United 1, Southampton 1.
Yeah, another great performance from us. It's been a pretty good week from us, and great goal from Shea Adams.
Stunning finish.
Beautiful finish. I wasn't sure if it was actually going to go in or come back out off the post, but yeah, obviously it went in, and it was a great finish. I've seen a lot of, like, an Athletic article going about us having a drinks break in the 60 to 70th minute. Someone goes down injured in quite a few games.
14,
but I'm sure we're not
out
the
of
only
20
team.
games.
I don't think we're the only team that does sort of things like this.
Nah, probably not.
It's just been picked up on. Like, I think the other team also gets a chance during that break to have a drink or have instructions. So I don't really see it that much of a big thing.
I don't buy too much into it, and I think Frank Lampard was asked about it today. Obviously we're recording on Thursday, the 17th, and he basically said, it's much ado about nothing. It's going to happen, probably happens in a lot of places, and obviously it's just because Dan Sheldon's picked up on it for the Athletic. I don't have an Athletic subscription anymore, so I'm not sure if he's gone into detail about the games that we did it in, because I'd like to know, for instance, what the scores were in those games. Whether we were level, whether we were behind, because there might be a consistent approach of, we need to kind of pick something up in this or tweak something. But say we were winning like 2-0 or whatever, do we really need it? Like, I guess it's a debate, but yeah, I think it can be read both ways. And like you said, everybody tries to get something here, and as well as benefiting us, it also benefits the opponent. So I don't think there's a lot to say about it. In terms of Saints, before we jump to United, another player I want to touch on is El Yunusi. See, at the start of the season, we were all raving about him. He had a good run of games, and then he kind of went out the squad, didn't he? And now he's back. He's had 45 against Man City, and then played very well against Spurs. Obviously got a goal, and then rewarded with a start against Man United and got himself an assist. And yeah, since he's been given this shout, I think he's really taken it. He looks very sharp, very lively, and I guess just adds to the opportunity for rotation in that midfield. But we keep saying this, Saints have actually got strength and depth for once this season, and that's really benefiting us come this time of the season.
Yep, yes they do. This side obviously a much stronger side than that team that lost 9-0 to Man United. But yeah, it's refreshing to have squad players to call on that are actually doing a job. And yeah, he's definitely one of them. I've been very impressed with him. And another player that I think deserves a shout out is Fraser Forster, who made some great saves in this game.
Yeah, he did.
He's been very confident.
Oh yeah, particularly towards the end, there was a couple of really sharp saves. Obviously, that one from Maguire's header, I thought was a brilliant save. And yeah, the confidence he's showing is exceptional. And it does make me question why. I think at the moment his contract runs out at the end of the season, and we've renewed McCarthy's. I just,
it's annoying.
I wonder why. I know, Forster's had his injury problems and stuff, but he's got the gloves now. He took his opportunity with McCarthy's injury, and he's really grasped that, and he is starting to look back to his best at times. And I think personally, his best is better than McCarthy's best.
Yeah, I'd agree with it as well. I reckon it might just be a case of bloody wage. Like I know Forster's on high wages, whereas
Yeah.
McCarthy probably isn't. So
Mm.
then they took the boring decision of
Yeah,
going with
and who
McCarthy.
knows? Like we both said at the start of the season, we need a keeper. We've got two second string keepers, and yeah, Forster's been very good recently. I still don't think he's a true number one. So I suppose
Mm.
if the view is to still maybe go for someone like Sam Johnson in the summer as a long term prospect, I prefer him with McCarthy as number two. I think Forster would probably look to get first team football, maybe slightly lower down the division or in the championship.
Yeah, well, I hope that happens and we bring someone in.
Definitely. And then obviously on Man United's side, this was the first of two games for them. And I was thankful for start because neither Bruno nor Ronaldo did anything in this one.
Yeah, as a Saints fan, I was relieved they didn't do anything, but as an
Yeah.
FPL player, I was a bit frustrated that Bruno didn't do anything in this one.
Mm.
Obviously, I've captained him this week. Double game week, it seemed the logical thing to do.
Yeah.
Obviously, it was tempting to go for Salah because he's got a really good fixture against Burnley, but I went with Bruno in the end, and United were okay, but I think we just outran them, outperformed them.
Yeah.
Just we were the better team. If
Well,
anything, we deserve to win.
we've taken 5 points from City, Tottenham, and Man United in a row, and I think that's definitely credit to Hasenhüttl there. I wouldn't have expected anything probably from these three games a few weeks ago, and to get that, yeah, I think he's done a sterling job.
Agreed.
Jumping on to the next game, I don't think there's a lot really to
I was going
say.
to say, should we just skip that one?
Yeah, I mean, the only thing of note, David Raya is obviously back in goal for Brentford. He comes back, they keep a clean sheet. On the other side, I don't think there was a lot. So given time constraints, I think we just skip Brentford Palace.
Yeah.
So
Bye
sorry.
bye.
Yeah. The next game was one hell of a surprise though. Everton 3, Leeds 0.
Yeah, very dominant performance from Lampard's side. I expected Leeds to be more in this one. I was expecting kind of like a 3-2 to either side. But yeah, nothing for Leeds in this one. Dan James has been quite good recently, but just got booked in this game. Nothing
Yeah.
really for Leeds to talk about. Couple of goals from defenders in this game, Coleman and Keane. Bit of a shock. Obviously, maybe those that had Keane for his own
Mm.
goal will be redeemed,
Yeah, I was gonna
but
say if you haven't bombed him out already, and
probably Rage transferred him out.
wouldn't
But
surprise me. But potentially, obviously, we'll come on to the games shortly. But with the likes of Cancelo missing out this week, Michael Keane may well have come off the people's bench. Clean sheet and a goal. He's picked himself up
yeah,
13
yeah,
points in this one. If you've got that off your bench, you've done very well. And
agreed.
another player to note, obviously for Everton, is 4.5 million midfielder Anthony Gordon. He's had a few starts now under Lampard, and yeah, I thought he was exceptional in this game.
Yeah, it's his second 14-point haul of the season now. Clearly, the lad can do some business, and at 4.5, I've got bloody Allen in my team at sort of around that price point.
Yeah,
So I'd much rather have Gordon. Yeah, I think Gordon and Ramsey, Gordon and Ramsey are both good budget picks in that midfield around that price point.
it's got to be the name of the pod, surely.
We'll see.
Yeah, and obviously Everton are one of those teams. They've got 3 games to rearrange. So it's Leicester, Burnley, and Newcastle are the 3 fixtures they're currently missing. If they can find some form, and obviously Lampard can kind of reinvigorate them, drag them away from that relegation zone, there might be some good double game weeks to come up later in the season for them.
Yeah, I hope so.
Right, and then moving on to what was a very much expected win for Brighton. It was Watford 0, Brighton 2.
Yeah, strong performance for Brighton. Clean sheet, couple of goals. Those on Webster will be delighted.
Yeah.
Myself, I'm on Veltman. I swear he had free bonus, but then slipped down, which was a bit frustrating because I was really confused as to how he was level on bonus with Webster, despite not actually scoring.
Might have
But
just taken a while to catch up, but yeah, he wasn't far behind, was he? He
yeah,
was on 33
no,
and
no,
35 apiece for Lamptey and Webster, and see, they're the ones that came away with the attacking return. So Veltman must have had a good game.
yeah. So strong performance from Brighton, and yeah, I fancy them as a pick. They've got relatively decent fixtures going forward. They
Yeah.
don't blank anywhere,
Nope.
which is obviously a strong point. Um, even they don't double, but they play Burnley at home. It's not a bad fixture.
Yeah, Burnley, Villa, Newcastle, obviously next three. After that, you're probably looking to get rid. I think from game week 27, to be fair, all the way through to the end of the season is horrendous. That's when they play effectively the top half of the table between now then and the end of the season. But yeah, for the next three, if you've loaded up on Brighton for obviously this double game week, you did well if you went defensive. And yeah, probably worth a hold at least for the next 3 weeks before whether you decide to wildcard, free hit or whatnot, and then make your way away from them.
Yeah, definitely.
Quickly on Watford, James. How many Watford players are you currently on?
I've got 2.
Yeah, I've got 3, and
3? Who's the other one? Oh no, I'm on 3.
Yeah,
I forgot about Foster.
yeah, we've both got the 2 forwards and Foster, don't we?
Hate it.
Tell me about it, and we'll come on to it in our team shortly. But this result just summed up the fact that we've held these guys for a prolonged period now, and it's mainly because there's no other fucking good strikers in this game at the moment. But it's just a nightmare.
Yeah, we can't even get rid of them this week because
No.
it's a double.
Yeah.
So it's basically our 4 points. Probably won't even be 4
No,
points. It'll be 3.
About 3.
Dennis will pick up a yellow card again.
100%. Yeah. It's getting
Yeah,
ridiculous
frustrating.
now. I can't wait to bomb them out, but it
Yeah,
can't be
I
this
hate them.
week.
Yeah.
A team that I wish I was on, and it's mainly because of the lack of doubles. But should that really be a factor? It was Norwich 0, Man City 4.
But what is a factor is rotation
Mm.
and big time rotation. This game, no Cancelo, no Laporte, but they still did the business.
Yep.
Saw people in the community move off Sterling to Salah, and obviously that's a move that's very painful.
Oh yeah, you've missed out 18 points for Raz, and I've seen teams out there that had Laporte, Cancelo, and KDB, and obviously all three missed out in this game. And yeah, that sums up rotation. Given I think Champions League once again becomes a bit of a priority now that they're running away with the league.
Yeah, it is frustrating, obviously, for City to get a clean sheet and for me to have 2 defenders but not actually get the points for either of them. It's
annoying.
Kick in the teeth.
It really is. But City are City. They're going to continue to dominate, and even though they don't double in the upcoming game week, they've got Tottenham at home, and at the Etihad, I fully expect them to probably keep another clean sheet and win by at least 2. So that's just City in a nutshell. And from now to the end of the season, I think their games, they're relatively easy. Obviously, they've got Liverpool at home, but it's a home game, which I think will be key for them. Other than that, most of the teams they're looking to play between now and the end of the season are bottom half of the table. So I think rotation could be quite a big factor, given they're comfortably progressing in the Champions League. They won 5-0 the other night. I wouldn't be surprised if they maybe rotate for the home leg of that Champions League tie, which might bode well for the fixtures surrounding it. But after that, if they progress again, it's got to be priority for Pep because he has to win the Champions League with City.
Yeah, I think you summed it up well. Beware.
Yeah, very much so. And then jumping on to Sunday's game, and what, to be fair, was probably anticipated to be quite a tough game away at Burnley, and it was. It was a man in form, but an unlikely winner. It was Burnley 0, Liverpool 1.
Yeah, goal for Fabinho. They did the job in this one. It was a scrappy goal. He sort of had a shot and then ran in and followed it up. Good reactions really from Fabinho. One of those sort of wins you need to sort of propel yourself up the table. Sort of, you would say, title winning form. However, obviously Man City are kind of got that wrapped up, I'd say.
Yeah, City are City, and Fabinho 3 goals and 4 in the Premier League, and I think it's 5 and 7 in all competitions now. Which yeah, he's doing very well.
Oh yeah, wow, yeah, that is very impressive.
Yeah, and
cheap in the game.
God, yeah. Obviously. I mean, I'm not going to say go there because we're all on a triple up, and it'll either be Trent, Robbo, and Salah, or Trent, Jota, and Salah. And we'll come on to Jota later. But yeah, obviously they managed to claw themselves 3 points here, and I think they had Alisson largely to thank for it. rightly coming away with 3 bonus points because he kept them in the game at times, and Burnley really kind of took the game to Liverpool. I thought Weghorst had another
Mm.
very good game. Obviously went off with a knock. Sounds like from the press conference today that he should be okay for the double game week. But yeah, I thought Burnley played very well. I was quite surprised.
Yeah, I was very impressed as well. Very attacking. Like they're actually going for
Mm,
it, which they normally don't do.
yeah,
So it's quite refreshing to see.
definitely. And another team that obviously needs the points and have been steadily picking them up. Newcastle 1, Aston Villa 0.
Yeah, they've hit a bit of form, and it's thanks to their signing Trippier, who's been banging in free kicks left, right, centre. But obviously, it turns out he's now broken his metatarsal, which is
Yeah,
going to be a huge blow for them because I
it,
think he has really sort of lifted everyone's spirits.
at least 8 weeks probably, and that
Mm.
takes him towards the end of the season.
Yeah,
It's
yeah,
not
it's
not
painful
good.
though. It could be the difference between them staying up and going down. Obviously, this game alone he's won them 3 points. So yeah, they're going to be, even if it's for the last 2 games, they're going to want him back.
Yeah, definitely. It's tricky because a lot of their games between now and the end of the season are top half teams. They've still got West Ham, Chelsea, Tottenham, Wolves, Liverpool, City, Arsenal, all to play. It's the key games against the likes of, I think it's Brentford, Norwich, Everton, Burnley. Games that they have to, out of those 4 games, that they'll want 9 points because, yeah, I think it's going to be tight towards the end of the season.
Yeah, I understand. Dan Bowen played very well in this game,
Yeah,
so that's good news for Newcastle fans. Might not be as easy a fixture as it has been. Same goes for Norwich. Obviously, got turned over by City, but they've generally been playing quite well.
yeah, yeah. No, agreed. And as for Aston Villa, obviously the week before, Coutinho and Ramsey ran the show. I've seen a lot of people jumping on them in both formats that we obviously discuss, FPL and Sky. And yeah, I think by all accounts and watching the game, Aston Villa were poor.
Yeah, I've heard this. I guess a little bit concerning for those that have just hopped on, and I guess that will obviously put off certain people that didn't jump on. Now maybe we won't go there. Obviously, Ramsey is still very appealing because of
Yeah,
how much he costs.
yeah, his
But I
price is
think it,
exceptional.
yeah, but I think at Coutinho's price, maybe you've got a few more alternatives. So
Yeah,
maybe you'd think of going somewhere else.
agreed. That's not to say they aren't going to return in the next game because it's Watford at
No,
home,
yeah, of
and
course.
Watford against anyone at the moment are conceding goals. So yeah, I think they could still do well, but I was quite surprised to see the masses immediately jump on them. But hey ho, that sums
Mm,
up fantasy football for you.
yeah, very reactive.
Yeah, incredibly. What was a bit of a surprising result was Spurs 0, Wolves 2.
Yeah, this one shocked me as well. Strong away win from Wolves.
Mm,
Jimenez, another goal for him. Fifth of the season. Not as prolific as he sort of has been, but
no,
he's still doing okay. Um, and obviously they're very solid at the back, Wolves. So yeah, I think if you were going to go for a Wolves player, you'd go for maybe a defender, a goalkeeper, or maybe Jimenez if you wanted to punt on him. But yeah, very strong from Wolves. Um, Goal from Dendonker. Remember you had him last season.
yeah, I know goal and
Uh,
an assist. Where was this
yeah,
last season? Eh?
what a performance! He's actually
Stunning.
quite good when he plays,
Yeah, he is. Yeah,
but he gets rotated a fair bit. So
he does. Yeah, and
yeah, disappointing performance for Spurs though.
yeah, it wasn't great. I think in the second half they picked the game up a little bit, but they could have been 3-0 down in the first 15 minutes in this game. Lloris had a couple of howlers, and one of them led to Jimenez's goal. It just wasn't a great performance, and it doesn't bode well when then Antonio Conte, I think he did a press conference and saying that obviously they've shipped out 4 or 5 players in January and only brought was it Bentancur and Kulusevski in, and he was saying, well, yeah, effectively Tottenham's squad is weaker now because we've lost 4 or 5 players. Well, they're 4 or 5 players that you clearly didn't want, but it doesn't really instill confidence, does it?
No, in fairness, I have been impressed with what I've seen from Kulusevski
Mm,
so far.
looks a good player.
I think he's pretty decent, and after they play City this upcoming game week. They've actually got 3 decent fixtures: Burnley, Leeds, and Everton.
Yep.
So that is a potential hop-on point for Son, Kane, even Sulevsky. 6
Yeah,
could be one to
bless you.
go for.
Agreed, yeah. And obviously, they're one of those teams that doubles in 26, and we'll come on to that shortly. But yeah, I think that they do form part of the scenario that we're all going to be discussing. Whilst James continues to sneeze, I will jump on to Leicester 2, West Ham 2.
Oh, this pissed me off.
I loved it. Absolutely loved it, mate.
So, yeah, I didn't watch the game, but I was like, oh, great. Dawson's clean sheet's gone. That's brilliant.
Yeah.
And then right at the end, I'm like, oh, it's been a goal. And I'm like, this is fucking Dawson.
A mighty Dawson, mate.
And it was.
Yeah.
So, yeah, absolutely devastated.
Yeah, where's your Dawson own goal fucking comments on Twitter now, mate, eh?
Oh, dear. I jinxed myself.
You did. You really did. Had you said nothing, it would have been a 2-pointer. You know, that would have been it. But, yeah, I thought West Ham played well, but Leicester, yeah, obviously penalty that Tielemans took very well, and Pereira scored a pretty good goal. And I think West Ham, they'd probably count it as drop points, given the form that Leicester have been in recently. Jared Bowen, once again, you know, he's just... The man is literally on fire. He can't stop scoring. Got a goal and an assist in this one. Another double-digit return, 13 points. It's 148 points this season so far, 8 goals, 13 assists. It's not bad at all, is it?
Yeah, very impressive. He's beaten last season's points total already.
Yep.
Got 7 more assists than last season as well. Yeah, the man's essential.
He just looks a lot fitter, doesn't he? Like he used to be referred to as like a 60-minute man. You know, time and time again, you see the board go up, and you'd probably think, Bowen, off he goes. Now, yes, consistently 90 minutes after 90 minutes, and he's really outshining Antonio.
Big time, yeah.
Which is frustrating as an Antonio owner. That he's just been stuck on my team. Like, I haven't really seen anywhere to move on to. But yeah, Antonio, it's not like he's holding back. He's still the front man leading the line. But yeah, Bowen, it's those late runs and the positions that he finds himself in the box. He's holding all the points. And yeah, like you said, Bowen, season keeper, but Antonio, he's got to go for me.
Yeah, although Newcastle at home next,
I know.
It's a good fixture.
Yeah, I don't know if it'll be this week, because I just don't know if it's worth it. But come the wild card, yeah, he won't be in there. And then obviously final game of the game week before we move on to double game week 26 discussions. And this is where your jammy fucking Bruno Fernandes owners, 97th minute, absolute piss take. Man United 2, Brighton 0.
The opposite emotions to the West Ham game. I celebrated it like a United fan. I was like, get in there.
Oh, mate, I was so angry.
Well, yeah, I thought, like, obviously the time was basically up, and then Bruno was through on goal, and yeah, just slots it in. I thought he was going to feed Ronaldo, which would have been good for me, but at the same time, Ronaldo owners would get points. Yeah. So, perfect outcome that right at the end for me. I would have had a fat red arrow if he didn't do that.
Well, I was accepting of the fact that Ronaldo had scored and it was 1-0 because I had David De Gea. Obviously, he's my captain this week with no other United assets. And I thought, okay, fair enough. You know, De Gea's got 3 saves there. He's going to pick me up 20 points. I can accept one of them returning, but not both of them. And then, yeah, when I saw it through, fuck's sake, Pogba playing that ball down the line and Bruno just, refusing to pass over to Ronaldo and smashing it top corner. I was so annoyed. I think the question for owners of them, though, is what do you do? I'm guessing hold because it's Leeds Watford. It probably takes us on to our double game week 26 conversation, to be honest, mate. And as an owner of Bruno, what are your intentions?
I don't know. Initially, it was to use him to maybe downgrade him, upgrade someone else. However, it is Leeds, although it's a single, so it's tricky. Do you bring in a doubler? Like, I could move him to Son. I could move him to any other decent doubler.
I don't think it's worth it, personally. And
that's
a non-owner.
It's tricky. It's tricky.
He scored a hat-trick against Leeds first game of the season.
He did. That did play a part in my mind.
In Leeds,
But after that Leeds Watford games, they do have quite a tricky run. It's
Yeah,
City away, Tottenham at home, Liverpool away, Leicester at home. The way
personally,
they're playing, they won't get many points in that.
no, I think you hold him for these two, and then you
Mm.
reassess, because by then we might know a better picture for upcoming doubles and blanks as well. So you could then maybe move to Man City, Son perhaps, or spread the funds. We might even need to start looking at Leicester assets, for instance, because they've got a lot of games to rearrange and not a lot of time to do it. So I think they're going to get consistent doubles. But yeah, if I was on Bruno, I'd be holding probably for these two games, because they feel like games in which he could comfortably outscore a lot of double game week players.
Yeah, true. That is the case. We do sometimes get blind. We always get blinded by double game weeks.
Oh, 100%. So obviously you've got, is it Leeds, Man United, Wolves, Burnley, Spurs, Watford, Palace, Liverpool, and Arsenal, I believe, are the 8 double game week teams.
Mm.
Um, I'm in a tricky position, because obviously Jota, frustratingly yesterday, taken off at half time in the Champions League game. Klopp came out and said it was an ankle knock that had swollen. There are rumours circulating, and they're only rumours because Klopp hasn't had his press conference, and that's tomorrow, that Jota could be out for at least 2 weeks. And if that's the case, that really messes with my plans, because obviously I'm already on Jota, Trent, and Salah. I may well then have to look at moving Jota on to maybe a Saka, for instance, because I quite like Arsenal's fixtures. And I am very likely to free hit in game week 27 anyway, because I'm already on triple Liverpool. I already have Martinelli, who annoyingly got sent off, which means he misses the first game of this double. But I don't want to use the -4 to get rid of him. So I could be on at least 2 or 3 Arsenal, as well as 2 or 3 Liverpool. And I just don't fancy it. Whereas if you then look ahead, Arsenal have got Watford and Liverpool have got West Ham, so I'm going to want them back for those fixtures.
Mm.
So yeah,
Is it just Liverpool and Arsenal that blank in 27?
I believe so. Yeah.
No one else. Yeah. Cool.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Yeah, just those two. So
Cool.
if you're not on the triple up of Liverpool and you maybe don't have a couple of Arsenal, I think you could get away with it. But you could probably build quite a good free hit squad for 27, because there are some good fixtures in there. Obviously, Spurs away at Leeds, Man City away at Everton, Man United have got Watford. So there's some good fixtures to target that are potentially players that you don't currently own. So yeah, it's something to think about if you're on the double game week 26 strategy. If you are looking to free hit, Arsenal for me could be a very good option. And that would, annoyingly, my plan was to probably bring in Kieran Tierney and maybe Saka. Now that Jota is out, I don't know whether I just stick to that plan and just go double on each and then reassess, because I don't really want to be taking a hit in this double. Yeah, it could be made up, but I could bring in a player that then is dropped for one of the
I think
games.
you have 2 free transfers.
Yeah, I've got 2. So if I want to bring in 3, yeah, it'd be a -4.
Oh right,
But
okay, yeah.
I just don't know if it's worth it. And front line wise, I've got fucking Dennis and King, and I hate it, but
I hate it as well,
I
and it's
can't
going to
move
be.
them on.
Yeah, no, I'm keeping them as well.
Yeah. What's your plans?
Yeah, it's I'm not sure what to do. I'm not sure which chip I'm playing.
Are you one of these that's between bench boost and triple captain?
I may be, yeah.
So, arguably, your bench boost, for instance. All right. So, who would be on your bench if you were bench boosting?
Well, obviously I've got 2 free transfers, so that is
Hmm.
yet to be even thought about in my head. So obviously I'd have Ramsdale. Well, not Ramsdale. I'd have Foster on my bench with a double.
Yeah.
I'd have currently Ailing on my bench with a double. And then either King with a double, or I don't know, Veltman. Maybe I'd bench over King.
Yeah, probably.
And then I'd be likely to upgrade Alan with money from downgrading either Antonio, Jota, or Bruno,
which
but
makes
it's
sense.
probably more likely to be Antonio or Jota.
Yeah,
Probably Jota, to be honest, because he
if
doesn't play
Jota's
in
that, well, yeah,
27
and if he's out injured,
and he's injured. So yeah, that's probably and then yeah, then I'll play a bench boost because it's quite appealing. Not only having two goalkeepers playing, but also two goalkeepers doubling. I don't think that will. It may happen again, but I feel like yes, I could. Obviously, the triple captains will triple captain Salah. I can captain him, so I'm only really going to lose out if he goes absolutely crazy. Say he gets like 15 points or 20 points. I only lose what? I lose 20 points essentially. I think I'll get 40, you'll get 60.
yeah.
And I feel like my bench boost could easily do that this week anyway. And then I'd still have the triple captain for another week. And there'll be other doubles
Yeah,
to play.
I think game week
Although it is a
36.
tasty double.
It is exactly. This is two sides of the coin. So game week 36 looks like it's going to be a massive double game week. If you're following Ben Crellin's spreadsheet, and obviously anybody that isn't, why? Because you really should be. And I think James at Planet FPL has summed it up really well as well in his recent podcasts. 36 is going to be massive. Now, if you've got that second wild card, for me, for instance, I'm trying to hold it until 34, maybe 35, to wildcard into double game week 36 to then bench boost, because I'd like to have 4 bench players with doubles. It gives me more opportunity in that case. And I don't think there is a better opportunity to use a triple captain than this week. If you're going to say triple captaincy for Mo Salah, these are the 2 teams you'd pick, surely.
Oh, yeah, definitely. It doesn't get much sweeter.
No.
However, I don't even have a wild card. So that strategy isn't as easy for me to do.
Exactly. So it depends on where you are with your chips, but yeah, it's just it's
Yeah,
assessing.
it's your team.
Yeah.
Like how many doublers you'd have. I would have quite a lot, and I've got 2 free transfers to get even more. So I feel like I'm quite set up quite well for a bench boost without even planning for it.
Yeah.
So I feel like the opportunity's there.
It is.
So that may be what I'll end up doing. But it's tricky because it's such a good double. Like if it was Tottenham and Leicester, I'd bench boost all day long.
Yeah.
But Norwich
Exactly.
and Leeds, it's making me think about it.
Yeah, I'd consider it, but I'd be interested to see what you go. The other option for me, just before obviously we start finishing up, is if I don't want a free hit in 27, the player that is really appealing to me, or there are 2 players, but the one, if Jota is out, I may well go to Maxwell Cornet. Now, as mental as that sounds, Liverpool to Burnley, Cornet doubles this week because they play Brighton and then Spurs. But Burnley also have a double game week next week. They play, because the fixture against Leicester has been rearranged. It was going to be a blank, but it's been rearranged for that week. So Burnley now double with Leicester and Crystal Palace. So I might move to Cornet, and I could even be tempted to move Antonio to Weghorst. Just bring
double.
Genuinely, just bring in 2 Burnley players for the next 2 weeks, because I think they're quite good doubles for them, and I've been impressed with the way that they've been performing. And it would also then mean that I only have 2 Liverpool and 1 Arsenal going into 27, and then I could assess as to whether I need to free hit, or whether I look at my squad and think, fuck, that's terrible, I'll move on. But I could bench those players and still use a transfer or a hit to move out the likes of King and Dennis. So I've got to really consider this, and given we've only got 2 days till deadline, and my birthday is tomorrow, so I'm not really going to be spending much time on FPL. I really have to make up my mind pretty soon. So I think tonight, whilst Chapman is on, I'm going to be deliberating quite heavily with the old spreadsheets.
Yeah, I think I will be too. Especially every time I have 2 free transfers, it always takes me longer because there's so many different possibilities that you can do. Cornet, I want to put him in the team, but I feel like he'll get injured. Like he seems to be quite he seems to be quite vulnerable. He seems to always go down. Like the game where Saints played Burnley, we both went, I think, and
Yeah,
yeah, he went down in that game.
he played
Seems to
very
be a
well
bit
though.
sort of great player, but just seems a bit like injury prone maybe.
Yeah, I know it would be one hell of a risk. Right, just to finish up then, James, do you want to quickly tell us how many points you got in the last week and an update of your overall rank? Why not? It's been a few
Yeah,
weeks.
so 63 points in this week. Most of those coming from Fernandez and Bowen. Now sat at 184k, which is a season high.
Nice.
I'm off the back of 5 green arrows. So it's going in the right direction. Just it's the progress is a bit slower now as I'm getting higher. It's a bit tougher.
Well,
What about yourself?
I'm glad you're going in the right direction because I certainly aren't. Uh, I got 57 this week, which I thought was average. Fair enough. But I have dropped from 43k in game week 21 to 107k in game week 25. So in the space of 4 weeks, I've lost 64k, which is stressing me out because
Yeah, that's not good.
I know, and I'm
I've
having
gained 100.
exactly. I'm having fairly average weeks. Like I'm averaging 2.5 million game week rank at the moment. I did have an awful game week 23, which really hit me hard. Um, Other than that, yeah, it's frustrating. It's other than the first game week when I was 122k. This is my lowest rank of the season now, which is baffling for 107k to be my lowest rank of the season
Yeah,
is crazy.
yeah. I saw your history. It's
Yeah,
pretty
yeah,
impressive
yeah.
this season.
Effectively, yeah, I was the highest point I was at 12k, and this is the lowest. But I do have all my chips. I've got my wild card, free hit, bench boot, 2 free hits, bench boost, and triple captain. So I'm really hoping that I can use them to my advantage because I still feel like this could be the season that I finally break my record of 40k. I don't think I'll get anywhere near your record, but I'd love to smash the 40k mark.
Yeah. Do it. Get a PB.
Fingers crossed. Right. Hopefully that gives you guys enough information, and it's probably given you a bit of food for thought for the double game week ahead. So I think it's about time we just say good luck. Hope your transfers go well, and as always, it is a goodbye from me, guys.
And goodbye from me.
Cheers.